The historicity and the evidence behind the resurrection of Jesus is irrefutable. The atheist scholars have no answer for it. For the reason why there's an empty tomb, for the reason why cowards who ran away when Jesus was arrested, suddenly were emboldened and began to preach that they saw Jesus alive again bodily. Over 500 people are testifying that they saw the risen Christ, including non-believers like Paul, like James. Paul, a persecutor of the saints, who was on a mission to destroy the faith, all of a sudden is now claiming that he also saw the risen Christ and changed his life completely and wrote half of the New Testament. Secondly, prophecy. There's no way anyone can tell the end from the beginning with such detail and accuracy like we have with the scriptures. In Psalm 22, 1,000 years before Jesus was born, a few hundred years before crucifixion was even invented, it says about the Messiah, bulls encompass me, dogs surround me. They have pierced my hands and my feet. They cast lots over my garments. This is 1,000 years before Jesus was born. And yet it's describing exactly what happens with Jesus on the cross. Isaiah 53, 700 years before Jesus is born. He was pierced for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. The chastisement, the punishment was upon him that brought us peace. By his wounds we are healed. Like sheep we have all gone astray. We have all turned to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Like a lamb led to the slaughter, so he was silent. But the Lord says he will prolong his days. This is after he crushed him and made his soul a guilt offering.
Wow.
So how will his days be prolonged after he was cut off from the land of the living?
That's good.
He's alive.
Oh my goodness.
And then it says he will see his seed, i.e. meaning he will see those who followed him in his footsteps, the disciples. This is 700 years before he's born. Zechariah chapter 12 verse 10. I would place on the house of Israel and the inhabitants of Judah a spirit of grace and pleas for mercy. For when they see me, whom they have pierced, and this is Yahweh speaking, Jehovah speaking, they will mourn because they will recognize this is the Lord of glory when we didn't recognize him. Pleading for grace and mercy. Prophecy all connecting. Let's go back to the Torah, Genesis chapter 3 verse 15. He says to the serpent, I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. Now, last time I checked Ezekiel, women don't have seed. Men have seed. But there was one woman who had her own seed.
Come on, man.
That was Mary. And he says, I will put enmity between your seed and her seed, and he will crush your head, and you will bruise his heel. With the story of Adam and Eve, we have the coming of the Messiah predicted, and his suffering predicted, and his victory predicted. And the prophecy, the connecting continuity, the thread, has demonstrated that God truly put his fingerprint on this. God has given us revelation. That's why I and you and everybody else watching this can be sure with certainty, without shadow of a doubt, that Jesus is the truth.